Let's keep the political conversation going with State of Play. And look who's back, Stephanie Hansen of the law firm of Young, Conaway, Stargett and Taylor. Once again, we have Charlie Copeland, president of Associates International, a graphics and printing company. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. Now let's start with Alex Pires. We just had him in talking about his plans to run against Tom Carper. Kevin Wade will be here next week. Do you think these two actually split the anti-Carper vote? Or will it be an actual easy win for Carper, should I say?
I think it'll be an easy win for Carper, to be honest with you. I don't know that either of them really carry the constituency behind them that they're going to need to pull it off.
It seems like Pires has a strong following in Sussex County. I know he needs to win.
Yeah, I mean, the Sussex County is 20% of the vote in the state. I think that the debate always has been, Carper's support is a mile wide, but maybe it's only an inch deep. And so is there somebody with enough money to drain that portion that's only an inch deep and therefore send voters elsewhere? I mean, Carper's won with 70+% of the vote, I think, for the last several decades. I don't know that I feel that there's a throw the bums out, environment in Delaware, although I wish there was. So I think it's going to be difficult. And I used to think that if you had $5 million, you could sort of buy your election, and O'Donnell disproved that in 2010. So I think it's going to be tough, but that's why we have the election to find out.
What about Kevin Wade? I actually took a look at his website, and he says the American dream is a faded photograph. What do you think about that comment?
Well, it sounds depressing.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm going to fight to make sure it is not. Here's a guy, Kevin Wade, who grew up in a lower middle income family, worked for a steel mill. Got himself an education, started a business, and has done well for himself. Not, he's no Bill Gates, but he's done well, paid his bills and that kind of thing. And I think that's what he's talking about is the ability to go out and do that is much, much more difficult today than it has been at any time in the past.
Well, let's switch to a different subject. I spoke to several families who pretty much think the President Obama, deserves a second term. Now, do you think the Obama-Biden ticket is pretty much a lock here?
I think it's very safe in Delaware. Yes, I do. And I think Biden helps it. I think it's a safe bet. I think you're going to find the further south you go, the less support there will be. But I still think that you'll find that they will ultimately be victorious.
What about you, Charlie?
I mean, I think in Delaware, the president and vice president win, and they win big. That helps Carper. It helps everybody down the ticket. But there's no energy within the state of Delaware to do anything but reelect the president and the vice president.
Any concerns at all? Any challenges you think those two may face here, besides Sussex and Kent County? Like the further you go down, further south you go. Any challenges you think at all?
I'd have to sit here and think hard to conjure up something. So that probably in itself is a statement.
Yeah, I don't see any challenge in the state of Delaware, and I'll be honest. I mean, I think the Romney people wrote off Delaware before they even decided to run for the office. So so they haven't spent any time to build any infrastructure here. So no, I think that it's smooth sailing right on through.
Oh, we sort of get that because we're such a small state here, but we're a state of neighbors, so that's a good thing.
Right.
Switching again, the presidential debate. We don't want to, it pretty much takes a lot to mess up a debate and to give wrong facts. But what do you see here? We don't want to talk too much about Todd Akin, but we know what he said pretty much. With the comment on,
I mean, within the presidential debate, I don't know that the social issues are going to. I mean, the president might try to bring up some, say, the gay marriage side. I don't think that Romney's going to go there because I think from the Republican side, it's about jobs and the economy, jobs and the economy, jobs and the economy, and now you may be able to throw the Middle East into that mix a little bit. So I think the debates will be strong. I don't expect either side to have a major gaffe. I don't know.
No,
Stephanie.
I agree. You know, at this point, I think unless Romney is probably going to have to talk a little bit about the 47%. You know, that's going to be a part.
I was getting
of,
ready to say
you know,
that. Yeah,
of
the
how-
secret video.
the secret video. You know, how do you explain that? I think Bill Clinton, when he was actually at the convention, was talking about how he was bringing a lot of numbers and percentages and whatnot to what he had to say, and that and the Republicans were kind of light on the math. I think that you'll see that change now with a lot of the 47% discussion, but I'm sort of saying that tongue in cheek.
Right.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. Well, and I think his point was, and I think that he clearly did not state it right or did not have his facts straight when he said it. But the truth of the matter is that the longer you allow people to stop pulling the wagon and ride in the back, the slower that wagon eventually goes, and eventually it stops. So you got to start getting people out of the back of the wagon and pulling it again. And however you want to draw those numbers. I mean, you can look at Social Security, where now it's less than 2 employees to every retiree. That as more retirees or more welfare recipients or people like that are not working, then the people pulling that wagon have more weight to pull, and so somebody says, "Well, I'm going to drop off pulling, and I'm going to ride along too." And I think that's a very important debate. What Governor Romney said at that point in time was factually inaccurate, but the number of supporters of the president, about that 47%, is a pretty strong number. So I think it will be part of the debate, and I think it's important.
Thanks a lot, Stephanie, and also Charlie. We
Thank you.
love having you two here.